In a small town in Italy, there was a young man named Marco who dreamt of becoming a renowned chef in New York City. Marco was talented and passionate about cooking, but he knew that his thick Italian accent would be a barrier to his success in an English-speaking country. Determined to overcome this challenge, he set out on a journey to improve his English accent. Marco started by researching online and came across the story of a famous opera singer, Isabella, who had faced a similar struggle. Isabella had grown up in a rural village in Spain and had a strong regional accent. To achieve her dream of performing on the world's biggest stages, she knew she had to refine her accent. Marco was inspired by her story and decided to follow in her footsteps. Isabella's journey began when she moved to London to study at a prestigious music academy. There, she met her vocal coach, James, who had a reputation for helping singers perfect their pronunciation and diction. James had a unique approach that combined traditional techniques with innovative methods. James introduced Isabella to the world of phonetics. He taught her the International Phonetic Alphabet, IPA, which helped her understand the subtle differences in sounds between Spanish and English. Marco followed suit, spending hours each day practicing the IPA and learning how to produce sounds that were challenging for him. One of the techniques James used was mirror work. He placed a mirror in front of Isabella and had her practice speaking while watching the movements of her mouth and lips. This visual feedback was crucial for her to see how her pronunciation differed from that of native speakers. Marco bought a large mirror and practiced every evening, paying attention to the shape of his mouth and the positioning of his tongue. To improve her intonation and rhythm, Isabella would listen to recordings of famous speeches and monologues. She would then record herself and compare her speech to the original. This exercise helped her to internalize the natural flow of the language. Marco adopted this practice, choosing speeches by his favorite chefs and motivational speakers. He spent countless nights perfecting his recordings until he was satisfied with his progress. James also encouraged Isabella to immerse herself in English as much as possible. She attended English-language theater performances, watched English movies without subtitles, and even joined a local book club where she could discuss English literature. Marco embraced this advice wholeheartedly. He watched cooking shows, read culinary magazines, and joined online forums where he could interact with native English speakers. One of the most transformative experiences for Isabella was joining a language exchange program. She partnered with a native English speaker who wanted to learn Spanish. They met twice a week, spending half the time speaking in English and the other half in Spanish. This mutual learning experience not only improved Isabella's accent, but also gave her a deeper understanding of the cultural nuances of the language. Marco found a language exchange partner through a local community center and quickly saw improvements in his accent. James also believed in the power of singing to improve pronunciation. He encouraged Isabella to sing English songs, paying close attention to the lyrics and melody. Singing helped her to connect with the language on an emotional level and made the learning process enjoyable. Marco, who loved music, started singing his favorite English songs while cooking, turning his kitchen into a mini concert hall. As months turned into years, Isabella's hard work paid off. Her accent became so refined that she was often mistaken for a native English speaker. She went on to perform in some of the world's most famous opera houses, and her clear, beautiful diction became one of her trademarks. Marco, inspired by Isabella's success, continued to dedicate himself to improving his accent. Marco's efforts did not go unnoticed. His newfound confidence and improved English skills helped him secure a job at a prestigious restaurant in New York City. His dream had finally come true. Marco's journey to mastering his accent not only opened doors to new opportunities, but also enriched his life in ways he had never imagined. Years later, Marco became a mentor to young chefs from around the world, sharing his story and techniques for improving their accents. He often quoted Isabella's words, "The key to success is not just in perfecting your craft, but in mastering the language that allows you to share your passion with the world." Marco's efforts did not go unnoticed. His newfound confidence and improved English skills helped him secure a job at a prestigious restaurant in New York City. His dream had finally come true, but his journey was far from over. Marco was determined to perfect his accent even further and become a truly exceptional communicator. At the restaurant, Marco worked under Chef Anderson, a renowned culinary expert with a keen ear for accents. Chef Anderson had a diverse team from all over the world and understood the challenges of language barriers. He took Marco under his wing, offering guidance not just in cooking but also in refining his English. One day, Chef Anderson introduced Marco to a speech coach named Helen. Helen had worked with many non-native English speakers, helping them improve their accents for various professional fields. She believed that mastering an accent required a combination of technical skills and personal expression. Helen began by conducting an in-depth assessment of Marco's speech. She noted the areas where his Italian accent was most pronounced and developed a tailored plan to address these issues. One of her key techniques was muscle memory training. She explained that just like in cooking, where repetition of movements leads to mastery, repeated practice of certain sounds would lead to improvement in his accent. Helen introduced Marco to exercises that targeted specific sounds he found challenging, such as the English and R sounds. She used a variety of tools, including rubber bands to help him feel the tension in his mouth and tongue when producing these sounds. Marco practiced diligently, repeating the exercises every morning before work and every night before bed. In addition to technical exercises, Helen emphasized the importance of emotional connection to the language. She encouraged Marco to read English poetry and perform dramatic readings of famous literary works. This helped Marco to connect with the rhythm and emotion of the language, making his speech more natural and engaging. Marco also joined a local theater group on Helen's recommendation. Performing in front of an audience allowed him to practice his accent in a dynamic and interactive environment. He played various roles, from Shakespearean characters to modern-day protagonists, each role challenging him to refine different aspects of his speech. The theater group became a supportive community, and Marco made many friends who provided valuable feedback and encouragement. As Marco's accent improved, so did his confidence in social situations. He began to host cooking classes at the restaurant, where he shared his culinary expertise with guests. These classes became incredibly popular, not just for the delicious food, but also for Marco's engaging and charismatic teaching style. His clear and expressive English made his classes enjoyable and accessible to a wider audience. Marco's journey took an exciting turn when he was invited to participate in a televised cooking competition. The competition was a high-pressure environment, and clear communication was crucial. Marco knew this was his moment to showcase not only his culinary skills but also his improved accent. He spent weeks preparing, working closely with Helen to perfect his pronunciation and delivery. The day of the competition arrived, and Marco was both nervous and excited. As the cameras rolled, he introduced himself with confidence, his voice clear and strong. Throughout the competition, Marco's articulate speech and passion for cooking shone through. He described his dishes with eloquence, captivating both the judges and the audience. Marco's hard work paid off when he won the competition, earning not only the title of champion but also widespread recognition. His journey to improve his accent had transformed him from a talented but shy chef into a confident and eloquent communicator. He became a regular guest on cooking shows and was invited to speak at culinary events worldwide. Years later, Marco reflected on his journey with gratitude. He had achieved his dream of becoming a renowned chef in New York City and had gained so much more along the way. His improved English accent had opened doors he never thought possible and had enriched his personal and professional life. Marco often shared his story with aspiring chefs and language learners, encouraging them to persevere and embrace the challenges of mastering a new accent. He would always remind them, "It's not just about perfecting your craft, but about finding your voice and sharing your passion with the world." Marco's journey was a testament to the power of determination, practice, and the belief that with the right approach, anyone could improve their accent and achieve their dreams. Marco's victory in the cooking competition brought new opportunities and challenges. He was invited to work with some of the best chefs around the world, leading him to travel extensively. Each new location presented a chance to learn and refine his skills further, both in the kitchen and in mastering the local accent. A new mentor and advanced techniques. During his travels, Marco met Dr. Emily Roberts, a renowned linguist and accent coach. Dr. Roberts introduced Marco to advanced techniques that complemented Helen's foundational exercises. She emphasized the importance of understanding phonetics and the mechanics of speech. Marco learned about the International Phonetic Alphabet, IPA, and how it could help him accurately produce and distinguish sounds. Phonetic awareness and sound matching. Dr. Roberts taught Marco the technique of sound matching, where he would listen to native speakers and try to mimic their intonation, rhythm, and pronunciation exactly. This exercise improved his listening skills and helped him fine-tune his accent. Marco recorded these sessions and compared his speech with native speakers, making necessary adjustments. Breath control and vocal exercises. Marco also worked on breath control and vocal exercises. Dr. Roberts explained that proper breath control was essential for clear and confident speech. Marco practiced diaphragmatic breathing, which helped him maintain steady airflow and improved his vocal projection. Vocal warm-ups, such as humming and lip trills, became part of his daily routine. Emotional connection and storytelling. To deepen his emotional connection to the language, Marco began incorporating storytelling into his practice. Dr. Roberts encouraged him to narrate personal stories, focusing on expressive intonation and natural pauses. This not only made his speech more engaging but also helped him connect with his audience on a deeper level. Public speaking and workshops. As Marco's confidence grew, he started conducting workshops and public speaking engagements. He shared his journey and techniques with others who struggled with their accents. These workshops became immensely popular, attracting people from various professions who wanted to improve their communication skills. Marco's ability to empathize and offer practical advice made him an inspiring mentor. Marco's inspirational journey. One day, Marco received an invitation to speak at a prestigious language conference in London. The event brought together linguists, educators, and language enthusiasts from around the world. Marco saw this as a perfect opportunity to share his story and motivate others. During his speech, Marco highlighted the importance of perseverance and the belief that anyone could improve their accent with the right approach. He shared anecdotes from his journey, including his early struggles and the breakthrough moments that defined his progress. Marco emphasized that improving an accent was not about losing one's identity but about adding a new dimension to it. A new adventure. Learning a new language. Inspired by his own success, Marco decided to embark on a new adventure. Learning a new language. He chose French, a language known for its elegance and complexity. Marco saw this as a way to challenge himself further and expand his horizons. He immersed himself in the French culture, spending time in Paris and interacting with native speakers. Marco applied the same techniques he had learned for English to master the French accent. He worked with a French accent coach, attended language classes, and even joined a local theater group to practice his pronunciation in real-life scenarios. Building a multilingual community. Marco's dedication paid off, and he soon became proficient in French. He used his new language skills to build connections with chefs and food enthusiasts in France, creating a multicultural culinary network. Marco's ability to speak multiple languages opened doors to collaborations and projects that transcended borders. A legacy of inspiration. Years later, Marco's legacy as a renowned chef and exceptional communicator continued to grow. He published a book detailing his journey, offering practical advice and motivational stories to those aspiring to improve their accents and achieve their dreams. Marco's story became a source of inspiration for language learners and professionals worldwide. Marco's journey was a testament to the power of determination, practice, and the belief that with the right approach, anyone could improve their accent and achieve their dreams. His story encouraged others to embrace the challenges of mastering a new accent, reminding them that finding their voice and sharing their passion with the world was the ultimate reward.